With nearly every candidate visiting the state in the final days before the primary and with so many delegates at stake, Florida stands out as a top prize.
However, at the start of the race, few expected Florida would have such a large voice in who wins the Republican nomination. Channel 4's Jim Pickett is joining us live with a look at why Florida is proving to be so important. Jim?
You know, Tom, the reason why it's so important, 99 delegates. It could determine what could happen at the convention. You know, on the Republican side, could Donald Trump be a shoo-in, or will it turn into a fight on the convention floor? There's a lot riding on your vote, not just because it will help choose the presidential nominees for this fall, but what happens here could also signal what could happen at the convention this summer. Rick Mulaney of the Jacksonville University Public Policy Institute has been studying the importance of Florida in this year's election process.
Well, you know, it was always assumed that Florida was going to be very important for several reasons. One, it's the first date on which it's winner take all. Second, it's because Florida has 99 delegates, which is a really big number. But I don't think anybody anticipated it would be this important.
And that's because of the convention. The Republicans will meet in Cleveland in July, and the outcome in Florida could have an impact on what happens there.
The Florida primary is a big part of who's going to be elected the next president, who's going to be the Republican nominee. There's just no doubt about it. What was not anticipated was that this primary may affect whether or not there's going to be a brokered convention or whether or not someone is going to get the required number of delegates to be the nominee. It's that important in Florida this time.
So again, Florida will have everyone watching and scrutinizing what happens here, just like in 2000 when the hanging chads and recounts determined the course of the election nationwide. And in the last two presidential primaries, Florida moved its election up to January to be more relevant. But the parties penalized the state for going so early and took away half their delegates. Now, with a primary in March, Florida gets its full share of delegates.
Florida is always important in its election, and you have 99 delegates in the state of Florida. It's winner take all, so it's going to be huge for whoever the victor comes out.
And while much of the focus is on the Republicans, Democrats say the primary here also plays a national role.
Well, I think Hillary Clinton has had a strong showing so far. Obviously, if she continues on the path and the momentum she's had, I think, you know, Florida will really help seal it. I also think it's an important factor in showing the contrast throughout the country to the Democrats and kind of the adult conversation that's gone on between the two Democrats in their debates and the Republicans, which I think has shown real sort of chaos.
So it's all going to be very interesting. You know, with 4 states holding primaries tomorrow, Florida gaining the most of the attention. Think back, too, on Super Tuesday. At that time when they ended on Super Tuesday, well, you had Rubio, Clinton, Trump, all having their rallies right here in Florida that same night. That signaled how important this state is. We're live downtown. Jim Pickett, Channel 4, the local station.